Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We're also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss the class of 2024 for the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. Woo! My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, as well as our special guests, Darren McRoy, Tim Howard, and Jeff Andreezy.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
How's it going?
Hey-oh. So, yes, we're going to be talking about the 2024 Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. We'll get to that after the break. Should be interesting. It seems like it's early this year. I thought they always held back that until the actual Bourbon Festival itself. That was like a big deal.
I thought so, too. Okay, so I'm not just crazy?
Right. I thought... Yeah. So I always thought it was a big secret type of thing, a big deal, but this year they're just throwing it out there. So there we go. All right, Tim, you said there's something you wanted to talk about beyond that topic. What do you got, buddy?
Your favorite stupid movie. So we all have those stupid movies that are not good at any by any stretch of the imagination, but we love them because they are stupid.
Okay, that's a good topic. Yeah.
So for the longest time, and this has been talked about before, I have loved the Sharknado movies. They
are
were fantastic.
Hilarious.
Yeah. I even told a story about how I snuck out of my parents' house to go see it in a movie theater one time.
Sure. That's worth sneaking out of the house for.
But I think it has been passed by Cocaine Bear. Because I watched that one for the second time. It's just so good. Don't get me wrong. I still love my Sharknado and my Twisters, but I think it's Cocaine Bear right now.
Okay, Cocaine Bear. I mean, I think the obvious one's Dumb and Dumber, right? I mean, it's the humor in there. That it's always it's bathroom humor. It's the easy jokes, but that's okay. They're funny. They're delivered well, and they're
timeless.
Yeah, it's good.
I would consider that a great movie. So
I know. I mean, anytime it's a guy crapping in a bathroom or drinking piss, which is both featured in that movie. I think it's kind of more along the line of a common denominator of low, but that's okay. It's funny. You don't have to really think about it. You just sit there and enjoy it, and it's good. So yeah.
I'll share one that we watch at Deer Camp every year.
Okay.
And I'm not a huge Will Ferrell guy, but the other guys, there's just lines in there that make me laugh so hard.
Okay.
You should have shot A-Rod. That is just so funny when they.
Okay.
Aim for the bushes.
Dirty Mike and the boys. It's horrible. It's stupid, but I laugh all the time.
I thought for some reason you were going to say either Steel Magnolias or Beaches, so I'm glad you said that.
Oh, God, but tear up here.
Yeah. All right, Tim. Well, you asked the question, so we'll go with Beka next.
I always loved watching Tommy Boy.
Sure, yeah, that's
it's
definitely one of those just dumb humor, but it's freaking hilarious.
Stupid. I like that, like him, with the wing, got the wing lodged right here in my throat.
Not so much here.
And not so much here, but right here. And him smashing the two vehicles together on the car.
Yeah.
And the ambulance. Woo, woo, oh my God. The new guy's puking in the corner.
Right.
I mean, I can clearly quote the entire movie.
It has the feel of, did they really script that stuff, or are they just like, hey, here's kind of what we want, just let them go?
And the bees?
Yeah.
When they say, like, oh my God, the bees! And they're running around the car, and they have the fucking deer in the back, and just like all of it, and also the fact that it's, God, what's his name that plays the evil
David
guy?
Spade? The evil guy.
Rob Lowe.
No, the son.
Is it Rob Lowe?
Rob Lowe. It's just like, I think that's so funny that Rob Lowe, like, it makes sense that Rob Lowe would do that, but back then, it didn't seem like something that Rob Lowe would do back when they made that movie. Now it's like, oh, okay, Rob Lowe clearly does have a sense of humor because he does a lot of stuff that's kind of funny these days, but it didn't seem like something that Rob Lowe would do as a movie back then, and that made it even funnier.
Yep, Bo Derek.
Yeah, I like Bo Derek.
Oh, yeah, and Bo Derek, I mean, you can't go wrong with that, obviously.
Bo Derek's
in the swimsuit. And it's just like the entire thing is just, it's like I would just crack up at that fucking movie. Yeah. All the time.
Yeah. For those of us lived in the 70s and 80s, we're just hanging on to people like Bo Derek and Linda Carter. Those were some of our heroes back then. Yeah. We like those people. Even we still support them in their old age, whatever they want to be in. It's just like a lifetime achievement award. I still like anything Bo Derek's in because she was great when I was a kid. All right, Tim, you asked the question.
It's Dude, Where's My Car? I watched that movie again recently, and it's again, stupid movie. There's nothing exciting about it, but it is an infinitely quotable and very, very funny movie.
There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go. On that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Beka.
What am I drinking tonight? Let's see here. Let's go proof.
Don't get the bomb burgers.
Don't get the bomb burgers.
We're saving the bomb burgers.
I'm gonna fucking chug the bomb burgers so that you have none.
No, you're not. You're gonna forget about it. The next time I go over there, I'm gonna finish it off. Then it's gonna be game over.
Well, when are you gonna be here next, Steve?
Very soon. Very soon.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm working on it. I thought about that today. I got to get there.
Well, you need to get here so you can fucking bring some bottles back with you.
Yeah, there you go.
Just gonna say that not too loudly. I have some Elijah Craig, the Toasted Barrel.
That felt like a microphone malfunction or something. There wasn't much there.
That was my fault.
False start.
That was poor play there. I don't know what happened. So, I mean, we did hear something. So she's got the lead there. But Jeff, what do you got?
Some Papa's Birthday Barrel. And you know me, it's full of autographs. Miss Beka Sue, Master Distiller Royce Neely, and Papa himself.
Nice. Ooh. Okay. That's good. Solid. That is our leader right now. I'll go next. I've got Old 55, single malt. Hey-oh.
Oh, nice.
Crowd goes crazy. Ooh. That was a tough one. I think Jeff's was better, so Jeff has the lead. Darren, you're next.
I got some Hidden Barn Madeira cask. Batch 2, this one is.
Batch 2.
Okay.
Squeaky.
Not enough. Jeff has the lead. Tim is yet to go, though. What do you got there, Tim?
I've got the Dark Arts Straight Rye Finished Maple Syrup Barrel, ABV Barrel Pick. See how this one goes.
No. Nothing there at all.
Disappears.
Nothing. So, poor form. So, yeah. Cheers, gang.
Cheers, everyone.
Jeff wins.
Cheers, Papa.
Cheers.
All right, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about the class of 24. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
I'm McNew, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily, home of the hiccup cures.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about the 2024 Bourbon Hall of Fame.
Yes, we are. So here's a look at the inductees. I'm going to run through and talk a little bit about each of them. So first up is Elmer Lucille Allen. She is a famous chemist for Brown-Forman, the first African-American chemist for the company. Obviously, a huge role there. This is one of those things that she was on my list. I've got 15 people. Now I have 14, but I'll probably think of someone else. But I keep an ongoing list of people that need to be in the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. And she was in there. You talk about groundbreaking. Anytime you're groundbreaking and innovative, and I think that you need to be considered for the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. So I'm glad they did this. I'm glad this is being fixed finally. And, especially because she'll be able to be there and enjoy it again in her 90s. I think she's 93 years old or something like that. So, yeah. Next up, D. Ford, Angel's Envy Distilling. I don't know Dee, but I can see she was chair of the KDA's Kentucky Bourbon Trail Committee. So that goes a long way into getting into the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. Again, that's who runs it, so it makes some sense. So she's from Angel's Envy. Next one is another guy that was on my list. So there's two on my list that are going in. Ken Lewis. This one makes sense. This guy, you talk about a Hall of Fame career. The guy started, a liquor store that was a big-time liquor store. He makes it in potentially just on that. If he never does anything else for what he does for the liquor store industry. Then you look at, he was involved in legislation, things like being able to sell liquor on Sundays and things like that. He was involved in that. He wasn't just a liquor store owner. I'm a liquor store owner. I'm not involved in legislation and things like that, changing things in the state of Missouri. I'm not, that's what he was. So again, there's number 2 to get in there. And then number 3, he opens New Riff, and one of the great craft distilleries celebrating its 10th year this year. He deserves to be in. Probably should have been in a few years ago.
In my mind, a little past due.
Yeah, in my mind, he probably should have been the first one of the craft people to go in. I mean, the fact that the Rabbit Hole guy made it in before Ken Lewis. I'm not going to say too much because we're not that bashing show, but you can read
between the lines.
Yeah, come on. Ken Lewis is one of the greats of the Kentucky bourbon industry. The next one, sad one. I mean, and this guy was a great guy. Peter Lofton, the guy who started Bardstown Bourbon Company, a billionaire, just one of those guys, party lifestyle down, hanging out with, he had a kid or maybe a couple of them with a couple different Miami Dolphins cheerleaders. I mean, the guy was awesome. He lived a life. If you want to live a cool life, and friends with movie stars, involved a little bit in the movie business and stuff like that. But here's the deal: a billionaire. The guy ran his own Instagram account and would interact with you. I would chat with him on Instagram, send him messages, and he'd respond to you himself. I don't know, man.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I mean, it's how you think that, man, if things ever turn around for me and all of a sudden, something goes crazy and I invent something or something that takes off, and I'd like to own my own bourbon distillery, but I want to be like this guy. That guy enjoying it and interacting with people is a cool dude. And then the last one, again, also incredibly deserving, Corky Taylor, for what he has done to revive a historic brand and bringing it to downtown Louisville. Cool stuff. And he's a great guy.
I honestly just had assumed that he was already in. And then I was reading the show notes. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, he had to wait in line behind the rabbit hole guy, so... So that's the class for this year, and what do you guys think? I mean, I think it's a solid class for sure. I think it's good.
So I love Hall of Fame. I think the idea of a Hall of Fame is awesome.
I do. Yes.
Any sport, anything that you have, if you have a Hall of Fame, I think that's cool. Even if it's a Hall of Fame of people that have lived in this house and it's just a picture of you on your wall. That's cool. Not saying that I do that or anything.
Sure. It's Darren's Hall of Fame.
I think this is a great class. And the really exciting thing to me about the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame is that there's so many more names that I even think should be in there.
Right.
And we have time to add them. Now, hopefully we don't wait too long for some people, but I think we have time to go through and keep adding and keep growing. And we're not anywhere near running out of people that should be in the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame yet. And so that part I find very interesting and gives way for great classes for years to come, I think is what we're really sitting in right now.
Yeah. It also feels like at some point there needs to be a place that fans can go visit, learn more about these people, see some of their personal effects, see some of the things that are from their collections. And I'd also like to see it. Unfortunately, I'd like to see them drop the Kentucky and to just make it the Bourbon Hall of Fame. I mean, now the majority of the people are going to be from Kentucky, but I feel like there's some people, there'd be this greater recognition of the bourbon industry if somebody like a Dick Stoll could make it.
Yeah,
I think he belongs. There's a place for people outside of Kentucky, and
Jasper Newton Daniels. I think if he's not in a Hall of Fame somewhere, I don't know if you can call it a real Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so it's
just bourbon, or it'd be all American whiskey. I think you'd open up to American whiskey as a whole.
Yeah, I think it's just American Whiskey Hall of Fame. That would be.
I think it should just be a Bourbon Hall of Fame, personally.
Fine.
I'm okay with dropping Kentucky.
Okay.
But I think that it needs to remain, because otherwise it's like, well, then it just needs to be a Spirits Hall of Fame. Then all of a sudden that's everybody, right?
Well,
I think that having it be the Bourbon Hall of Fame is a big deal, especially if they actually like made a place to go to in Kentucky, then it needs to be a Bourbon Hall of Fame, not a Spirits or Whiskey Hall of Fame. It needs to remain Bourbon Hall of Fame if it's in Kentucky.
Yeah. I'd still say Jack Daniels makes it in, by the way. Because you got Elijah Craig in there. He never made a drop of what's known as bourbon today. Never did. It wasn't defined. There was no such thing as bourbon.
Oh, sure. Right.
He's just making whiskey. I mean, we're not dropping him out of there. So I think Jack Daniels has a place there. That's my
what a list this year. Just reading the profiles and doing a little digging.
Yes.
Diverse, broad, just everything from, a chemist. And being there for 30 plus years. I stop and think about how did she get there? The challenges that she probably faced just to overcome whatever was in her way.
people who
probably. I think we can answer it. Probably incredibly smart, right? I mean that's the thing. To as an African American, for the time that she was working in the industry, to be able to rise up and do that job, you got to be. First of all, you got to be incredibly smart. You got to be good at your job, and then you also probably have to be able to deal with things that we can't even imagine. The folks that are on today's podcast can't even imagine some of the things she probably had to deal with, and probably are ashamed to even think about those things that she was dealing with.
Sure.
It's terrible. So I'm glad she's in. Like I said, she should have been in years ago. This has been a story of her, probably that I heard about 5 years ago. 5 years ago, she should have been put in, not forgotten then. So it's good. I'm just glad they're doing it. I'm just glad.
Maybe should be before some of the other people that have already gotten in.
This is true. Names. This is true, and it also feels like. I'm glad there's no politicians. So many times it's like someone.
God, I hate it when they put the politicians.
I know they put the politicians. Those
what
politicians.
The fuck? They signed a bill.
Right.
Like, were they actually the ones pushing it?
Right. Exactly. If they
were they actually the ones pushing it? Like, come on.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. You say I'm happy that this class is seeing judges and politicians in it. I'm like, okay, what? Why are we doing that?
Right. Yeah. I want to feel like it's a real Hall of Fame that people are making it for the merit of their contributions, not like this is a favor because you did this for us.
Put me in the Bourbon Hall of Fame then.
Right. Yeah. So this feels good, and it's a good group. Again, I really wanted Bronner to go in and push for him. He didn't make it, but you know what? Nothing's automatic, and I get it. I just hope that at some point those in power recognize the importance of bourbon bars and what they do to bring in bourbon fans, and then Jason's contributions personally. He's not just making it just because he's a bourbon bar owner, but what he's been able to do. I think he belongs there, and hopefully he makes it. So, yeah. And I want to have that party at Bourbon's Bistro. I want to be there when it goes in because I know it's going to be a good party. Yeah. It's going to be a good party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I was pretty excited when I saw Corky Taylor on the list, and he's the only one of this group I've ever had any interaction with. But my group took a little trip in April, and we went to That was our first stop was Peerless, and they the room right off the gift shop, and this guy comes in and starts talking. Well, it's Corky, and he spent about 45 minutes with us telling stories, and you start realizing, holy cow, this guy's got some history. And we joked about all the stories he told from the toothpicks and Cher and all these other people that he knows. He name dropped just about everybody. But
Al Gore.
Yeah,
he was a roommate with Al Gore. Yeah.
It was just awesome though, and I see him on the list and say, wow, we just met him in April. That was just pretty cool. Good stuff.
By the way, he said Al Gore was a snitch too. He and the Allman Brothers, who were also in his room. That's the four people end up in the room: Corky Taylor, the Allman Brothers, and Al Gore. They're in this military school, and that's the four that are in the room. Well, three of them are going out drinking. One's like, I don't drink, so that's fine. I get it. You're not a drinker. I don't think you should be pushed into it. You don't drink. That's cool. But then to snitch and go ahead and to tell. Yeah. I mean, come on. That's where I have a problem. I'm going to go and tell that these guys are snitching out. Yeah. Give me a break. The warden just got she said, I'm not doing a good job of taking care of the lawn. She got a weed eater, and she's decided to use it for the first time right outside the room where I'm podcasting. Literally.
I call that spite.
I don't hear it. We don't hear it.
You don't hear it. Okay, that's good.
I think she's doing it intentionally, Steve.
Oh yeah, she's revving that thing up. She's just as proud as can be. So she got it out of a catalog for like her 20th anniversary of working at her company. So they give you like a catalog. You can pick a gift. This is what she picks. And
they still make catalogs.
Oh yeah, they make catalogs. Yeah. That's crazy. It's just she picks out this thing, and she's like, I think she was trying to get to guilt me into then getting out there with the weed eater because I don't weed eat, and I called her bluff. I'm like, you can get it if you want to use it. That's fine. Well, there she is now with the podcast.
Yeah, definitely deliberate, Steve.
What a great gift.
Yeah, that's 20 years of your life right there. It's right there, weed eating now. So there you go. There you go. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Tim, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
Facebook @Tim Howard.
All right, Jeff.
Facebook, Instagram, and the Cigar Dojo. Jeff Andreezy, 2 I's, 2 Z's.
All right, Darren.
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures. No C's, no K's.
Miss Beka Sue.
I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of Darren.
Wait a minute. How do you spell your last name?
The Bourbon Adventures. There is no C's or K's.
Oh, all right.
MacRoy. Interesting. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's, or you can find me beating the shit out of Darren in the ABV Barrel Shop.
It will be a ticketed event, so make sure you go online and get it.
It'll be a
very
sellout.
fast event, though.
Yeah, this is true.
I'll come down for that one.
You've seen the Punch video, right, Jeff? You've seen
Yes.
that? Yeah. I
I'm
didn't
not
think Darren would
lasting long.
stand.
I know that.
No.
That's why we got to ticket it.
Yeah. All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop. We're always getting new stuff in. We got our first brandy pick the other day. It's fantastic. So guess what? You're like, I'm not a brandy person. I think I'm going to pass. Come in, try before you buy. Don't write this one off. It's a bourbon lover's brandy. I'll tell you that. It has whiskey taste.
120 proof.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. So check us out online, what we've got going on over at abvbarrelshop.com. Ms. Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. Farnings, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.